I'm going to show you how to set up the Behringer WING console to multi-track record, and then you can use that multi-track recording to do a virtual sound check or to mix down your tracks at a later date. So the first thing we need to do is go to the setup window, and under the USB card configuration, we need to set it to the right interface settings based on the channels you're using. So now I'm going to go to the routing tab and I'm going to set up the input source for the USB card. By default, channels 1 and 2 from the USB source are set to stereo, and I'm going to set them to mono. So we're going to go to the main input page, and I'm going to make sure the +1 auto is selected. That'll save us some time. And to unlock the page, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up AES50 as my source for the main inputs. This would be your stage box or your preamps recording the band. And I'm going to go ahead and set up the alternate source to USB audio. This gives us the ability to switch between the live channels coming from the band off the preamps and the recorded tracks fed from the USB. Now, when we go to a channel's input, we can see the sources. We can see that the main source is AES50A1, and we can see that the alternate source is USB audio 1. And at the input select, we're going to switch it to auto. And I'm going to go through and set all the channels up like that. And that way you can switch all the sources back and forth between the live preamps and the USB recordings by hitting one button on the setup page. Source switch, you just switch back and forth between main and alternate. Now we need to set up the outputs to the USB audio that feed Waves Tracks Live. And without this, you wouldn't be able to record anything. So I'm going to go to the output page. I'm going to go to output group USB audio and unlock it. And I'm going to set that as AES50. This sets up direct output from the channel to the recording program. So the signal comes right off the preamp and goes to the recording program, and it's not affected by the channel processing that you're using. This is key to a virtual sound check because when you run a virtual sound check, you want the signal at the source to be the same as it would be if it was live. This is also important if you're going to mix the tracks down at a later date. You want to start with the raw signals and not something that's already been processed for a live performance.